So, to start our discussion, my application is related to the new approach of learning robots, which involves active participation of a robot in the learning process and conversation between the robot and human teacher. So, in general, robots are learning by reading text, by studying some data, or by just bumping in the environment. But recently it was discovered that the more efficient technique is learning during conversation, where a robot can receive some verbal information and check the hypothesis that he learned by asking teacher or by making some statements. So this gives several advantages. The first and the most important from them is the robot has two flows of data. They are visual flow and language flow, and basically it can right away make some connections between the visual flow and verbal flow, things that he hears. So he can plot the statistical word reference matrix, where on one side of on one axis we have words, and on another axis we have objects, and he can build up the knowledge hierarchy in such a way that it will both include verbal concepts and objective concepts, objects that surround him in the real world. Also, speech patterns can be used by a robot to communicate with teacher. Let's say every day he hears how teachers say hello to him or goodbye at the end of a conversation, and he can start to repeat those words and start telling the same to the teacher, basing on the statistical inferences without any motivation behind it. And he can also hear words that regularly coming together. Unlike internet or some random material, the speaker will not put the words that are not related to each other. Most likely the robot will hear something reasonable and some phrase in which the words are already related to each other. Let's say some properties of objects, their color, temperature, like hot tea, white milk, something that can be put in the knowledge base right away. And this really saves a lot of time, because the robot can right away get some patterns like a child. It's basically the same as a human child learning process, where a child picks up certain word combination. It does not study words and connections between them, synonyms, as a huge graph. It studies it in a speech, in a way how they're used in real language, in human language. So it will allow him to achieve the goal of communication with human beings much faster. So to sum up the results, the conversation with a teacher allows robot to build initial knowledge base much faster. Active participation of robot allows the robot efficiently verify the hypothesis that he learned, and gestures from teacher significantly enhance the association connection between objects and words. What I would add to this approach is a robot might actually get the data not only by verbal or by visual means, but he can also get the let's say, infrared image of teacher. He can get some information how he reacts. He can get some changes in the voice. So this can be hardly detectable by a human being, but a robot can detect this, and this can be even more helpful to him to build up those knowledge patterns and build up his database in a more efficient way. Thank you very much for listening, and that's it.